The automatic window opener for the greenhouse has arrived. I've gotten a couple comments from viewers about suspending our feeder in the chicken greenhouse to prevent the spilled grains. Obviously, you guys have noticed we've had a lot of grains spilled on the ground. The pullets have been hopping in the feeder and then scratching, and it just goes flying everywhere. And oddly enough, if I were to take a scoop of grain and sprinkle it all on the ground like you see there, they'd all go nuts and eat it all. But that grain, for some reason, since it's on the ground that they've kicked out of their feeder, they don't want it. But rather than going out and buying a separate feeder for me to suspend, I decided it might be a good time now to start transitioning them to a fermented or soaked feed. This is, if I soak their feed first, if it's soft and mushy, it's less likely to go flying everywhere, I'm thinking anyway. But when changing their feed, it's important that I don't do it all at once. I need to change it incrementally. That's why I put the wet grains on one side and the dry on the other, just so they can get that introduction to the wet grains while still having the dry. And from the looks of it, they are preferring the dry grain over the wet. And as far as the soaking of the grains go, I know it needs to soak at least 24 hours in order for it to have the beneficial effects of soaking, as far as the removal of the anti-nutrients in the grains, as well as getting it soft enough to where it's more digestible and goes further. But I just went ahead and gave them some of the wet grains anyway now, even though it's not soaked, just to give them, again, that introduction to it. And why did I get the 5-gallon bucket instead of buying a feeder for suspending? I didn't really buy it instead of that. I needed the 5-gallon bucket anyway for soaking the grains because I was going to do that regardless. And this just gave me that motivation I needed to go out and do it now. If this method doesn't really improve anything, I'm still going to go and try and do the suspended feeder. About a week ago or so, I was telling you guys that I wanted to add an automated arm to the greenhouse vent window to better control ventilation in there. And it has arrived. So I'm going to open this up and see what it takes to install this thing. Perhaps I should have done more reading on these first before buying one. I was just looking over the instructions to this thing. One, it said it's not for winter use, to put it away over winter and to bring it back out in the spring. And two, it says the lowest temperature that it can be set for to start opening automatically is 63 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't think I'm gonna see 63 degrees again here until maybe April. So that's not gonna work for our situation right now because I need it open now during the fall here. I'm not going to return this. I'm just going to hold on to this for now, and we can still use it in the spring. It seems like it'll be a very useful tool. I know some of you guys out there have built this greenhouse, and you may have added one of these automated arms to it. If you've done that and have had success with it over winter, let me know about that in case I'm missing something and I still can use it here. So just leave a comment below on that, please. Little buddy and I just drove into town. We're checking to see if the local camera store has an extra battery that I can buy.
I got on it, but
We got the battery here. It's a generic one that should work in a Canon. My camera, as you may have guessed, gets a lot of use, heavy use, and the battery just isn't lasting nearly as long as it did when I started doing this 4 months ago, which is usually not that big of a deal because most of the time I'm right here and it gets low and I go in and charge the battery. But tomorrow, I'm leaving early in the morning to head over to an event. I'm making the drive over to Spokane to attend the Food and Farm Expo where Joel Salatin will be speaking. I signed up for his all-day workshop. I'm really excited to be going to this Joel Salatin workshop. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people in it. I think it was limited to 100 or so. So it's a really cool opportunity to attend a workshop with him. Obviously, a lot of my inspiration for what I'm doing and what I'm working toward has come from him. He's definitely a role model for me. I intend on taking a lot of video tomorrow. Joel Salatin is quite loquacious. I imagine he's going to be sharing more than one pearl of wisdom tomorrow, so I want to be able to capture some of it, and the battery I'm currently using just doesn't have the juice left for it, so I wanted to spare. The timing of this event is really good because I really needed something exciting. I really needed something to look forward to after the lamb slaughter a couple days ago. I don't mean to be overly dramatic about this and keep talking about the slaughtering. I know we talked about it yesterday, but it would be disingenuous of me if I didn't keep you guys posted on how we're working through our issues here. The Grass-Fed Homestead YouTube channel is all about capturing our experience, making the transition from urban living to a life on a homestead where we're working towards self-sufficiency, where we can feed our family from our direct efforts. And a big part of this experience is what we're going through right now, and that's dealing with these issues of slaughter. When we set out on this journey to live this lifestyle, we knew this first year would be a year of a lot of experimentation and trying to figure things out, see what works, what doesn't, see if we even like it. Do we like raising sheep? Do we like chickens? Do we want to add more? Was this just not for us and we just need to move on? We had to answer these questions, and I've been very resolute since we started this that I need to take responsibility for my food and my family's food. That's why I was really adamant about going through the process of slaughtering some of the chickens that we have in our freezer. It was really important for me to go through that experience, to take that responsibility, because if I can't, then this project, everything we were working towards, is a failure if I can't do that. There were a few occasions during my time raising the sheep where I thought, I just need to call the butcher and cancel, because I don't know that I want to go through this. And there was a lot of that on the morning of slaughter. But in order to answer the question, can we live this lifestyle? Can we do this? With a resounding yes, I had to go through with this. I miss the sheep. I miss them terribly. It was really difficult editing the video of the slaughter day, publishing that out. There's definitely a sense of loss here. I really miss the daily interactions with the sheep. I miss bringing them their hay all the time. I just miss all the chores, all the problem solving with them, the paddock rotation, everything about it. Almost every day there was some kind of new challenge, something that needed problem solving. But running hay out to them or putting them on new pasture, there was just such peace in that. It's been a struggle adjusting to them not being here. There's definitely a gap in my day now. I'm still working through all this. I'm still processing it all. And as far as being able to answer the question with a resounding yes, I can't answer that right now. Would I take it back? Absolutely not. I enjoyed every minute of it. What I've learned from this is I love doing this. I love taking care of the sheep. I'm sure I'll love taking care of more animals as we get into that, hopefully next year. Learning that raising sheep is something I love doing is really important to me on this journey. This morning, Ashley and I were talking about these issues again, and I told her how much I love raising them, every aspect of it. The hay, the watering, the paddock shifts, everything, all the management that goes into it. I just love it. But the slaughtering was just so awful. And she said again, you know, we don't have to do it again. We don't have to do sheep. And we can just get really good at chickens. If we're gonna answer the question, yes, we can live this lifestyle, then it's gonna be with sheep and hopefully someday cattle, you know, other ruminants, pigs. Some of you guys have commented before that you've referred to me as the sheep ninja. The sheep ninja can't be without sheep. The sheep ninja has to have sheep to be the sheep ninja. And besides, there's already chicken ninja master. I can't be that. I don't know what the answer is to the question yet. 3 days ago, to me, it was a resounding yes. I don't know what the answer is right now, but I do know I don't have to answer it right now.